Well, do I have a treat for you today? It's a trifecta of shit. This is on PragerU's channel, and it also includes an interview from the Babylon Bee, and it is them interviewing Elon Musk. And they're talking about comedy and wokeness. Yes, so PragerU, Babylon Bee, Elon Musk. It's like a triangle of diarrhea. So I should probably apologize to all the Elon Musk fanboys. I'm sorry you're an Elon Musk fanboy. Anyway, so moving on. This is quite a thing. So let's watch it.
Wokeness basically wants to make comedy illegal. Do we want a humorless society that is simply rife with condemnation?
So, like somebody in the chat was asking, like, what does wokeness even mean anymore? It doesn't mean anything. It's the same. It's just a buzzword that people use for bad. Just for bad. Like, somebody makes like a really fucking shitty joke about, like a racial group or somebody's sexual preferences or whatever. And somebody's like, hey, whoa, that's like a pretty shitty thing to say. And they're like, oh, here comes the woke mob. You coming to cancel me, Nazi? Blah. Like, it doesn't fucking mean anything. It comes down to effectively any consequences of doing something wrong from a very specific political point of view is somebody trying to engage in cancel culture, and that's because it is commanded on the tenets of wokeness. It doesn't mean anything. Nothing. Like a couple years back, people just called it the regressive left, and now if it has anything to do with the race, it's critical race theory. It's just buzzwords to be like, that's a bad thing, and I don't like it.
And hate. At its heart, wokeness is divisive, exclusionary, and hateful.
Sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah, whatever you say. It's a brainworm's take talking about literally nothing that means absolutely nothing. Getting woke, aka doing the work to learn and grow, is different from what the right wing idiots use to me. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. Is like if you go through some soul searching and you realize that you felt differently than you felt before, people might say, "Oh, well, you're getting woke," and might make it sound like a bad thing when it could be a good thing. Like personal growth can be a good thing. Of course, people could think they're growing and also be devolving. So it depends. But I think it's funny that Elon Musk is clutching his pearls on the Babylon Bee of all fucking places, when like he's such an arrogant prick. Like he's done tons of terrible shit to people. He called that one fucking diver like a pedophile because he just didn't like him or something. Like he wanted to save some minors or something. I don't fucking remember. But it was like a whole ass thing. He got sued for it because he was being a prick for no reason. But here he is like, wokeness is being mean to people. Fuck off. Get a better haircut. Stole mine.
It basically gives mean people a shield to be mean and cruel.
Whereas his shield to be mean and cruel to people is money.
Armored in false virtue.
Fucking
The world has become too absurd to be satirized.
has it. I think the world is incredibly absurd, and the satire can be when you just simply say the same thing that is happening, and people are like, there's no way that's fucking real. And that in and of itself can be its own nihilistic sort of comedy.
The great English writer G.K. Chesterton said that way back.
So the point in fact, PragerU, quoting G.K. Chesterton. G.K. Chesterton is a fascinating person because he popularized the term the Jewish problem. Sure did. According to, here we go. Here's a quote from G.K. Chesterton. The Jewish problem, once regarded as a fad, is now recognized as a fact, and a fact which fills the world. The Jewish problem, he contended, was capitalist long before it was communist. He further goes on to praise the beliefs of Henry Ford, that he had discovered there's a Jewish problem is because there is a Jewish problem, blah 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 blah. Americans, he observed, had inherited a prejudice against anti-Semitism, a prejudice of anti-Semitism, and yet even they found the Jewish problem exactly as they might have struck oil because it is there, and not even because they were looking for it. Oof, boy. Oof. Oof. Why in the fucking world would somebody be trying to make a cogent point by by citing the fucking quote by G.K. fucking Chesterton? Holy shit, dude.
Back in 1911, long before math was considered racist and biological men were allowed to compete against women in sports.
Okay, yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. That's a whole mouthful of garbage, whatever.
One can only imagine what he would say if he were alive today.
Probably, why haven't we done anything about the Jews yet? Those darn Jews. I warned you back in 1911. That's probably what he'd say. He'd probably be doing videos for PragerU, honestly. Reluctantly a bit, because, you know, Prager.
At the Babylon Bee, where we write satire for a living, we're feeling Chesterton's pain in a big way.
Okay, what Babylon Bee does is not satire. Babylon Bee makes baby brain comedy. The kind of, like, trash that would even... Like, I would rather watch Stephen fucking Crowder's comedy than anything that has to do with the Bee. They're the most unfunny, talentless fucks. Holy shit.
Just look at these headlines that were satirical at the time we wrote them. On May 9th, 2017, we ran this headline. 2 + 2 = 4, insists closed-minded bigot. That was a joke, of course. But
the only way they get laughs on that kind of a joke is when they insert fake laughter. Yeah.
on August 10th, 2020, the Washington Examiner published this story. Math professor claims equation 2 + 2 = 4 reeks of white supremacist patriarchy.
What's the context of that? That's just a fucking... Jesus Christ. Math professor claims equation 2 + 2 = 4 reeks of white supremacist patriarchy. Washington Examiner is a rag? Probably. Math education professor in New York City claimed that the equation reeks of white supremacist patriarchy. The idea that math or data is culturally neutral in any way objective is a myth. I'm ready to move on with that understanding. Who's coming with me? Okay. Okay. Hang on. What in the fuck is the point of this? Okay, this is really bizarre. So if I'm understanding this correctly, the idea that this is what she actually said. The idea that math or data is culturally neutral in any way objective is a myth. I'm ready to move on with that understanding. Who's coming with me? Along with the, of course, math is neutral because 2 + 2 = 4 trope, are the related and creepy math is pure and protect math, reeks of white supremacist patriarchy. I'd rather think on nurturing people and protecting the planet with math in service of them goals. Now, I do not in any way understand what this context is supposed to mean. This is very strange to me. I don't understand, but also, whom is this person? Teacher, mom, mathematics education professor, all things b-ball, order not implied, and retweets. It's a person with less than 2,000 followers who I guess is technically a math teacher and doesn't even have a blue check mark. And so what? The fucking Washington Examiner was like, "Oh God, we fucking cluck a head brain." Like, what the fuck, dude? So what? If I look deep enough, I could probably find somebody saying the most abhorrent, ridiculous, stupid shit. That is not in any way to, like, try and lend credence to the idea that this is like a systemic fucking thing. What the fuck? This is so weird.
On August 13th, 2020, we ran this headline. BLM rioters awarded Nobel Peace Prize.
Uh-huh.
At the time, we thought this was obvious satire. But on January 29th, 2021, this story was published in The Guardian.
It's not about the maths itself, but about how maths education is structured. Might be referring to how different cultures throughout history have had different thought processes regarding things like counting and time. Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's totally fine. The professor's right. The 2 + 2 = 4 thing was used to argue for objective truth, but even if it is subjective, it's nonsense in trinary systems or systems using reverse Polish notation and flat out wrong in quaternary systems. Sure. Yeah, like, and that's kind of the thing that I was trying to figure out if that was the context or not, but because like there wasn't anything further that was said in it, and the Washington Examiner article itself doesn't have any further context. But if you want to think about it, like the statement 2 + 2 = 4 is not just a mathematical equation. It's very often what people will say when they're like, yeah, so this is what I believe to be the truth. You know, it's like 2 + 2 = 4, you know, like that. It's just like, that's just how things are. It could be used as simply a turn of phrase. Oh, so you're saying there's more nuance to what was said? Yeah. That's basically what I'm saying. But I mean, fuck, dude. Like, again, it's a Twitter account with less than 2,000 followers, written by a shit rag, and like, what, this is supposed to be an example of like wokeness has destroyed the world or something.
Black Lives Matter movement nominated for Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, Hitler was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. Like, fucking Trump was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. You know what? You can nominate anybody for a Nobel Peace Prize.
On March 25th, 2020, we ran this headline. Pants sales plummet as everyone working from home. The very next day, this story appeared in Yahoo Finance. Amid coronavirus, Walmart says it's seeing increased sales of tops, but not bottoms.
So what? What?
I could go on.
How is, wait, and like, okay, hang on. How is any of this woke? How is any of this woke? I don't fucking understand what the fuck they're talking about.
Our satirical headlines are proving to be prophetic with astonishing regularity. So what does this mean for humor and satire? Well, for one thing,
Well, you're not doing very good humor or satire.
it makes our job much more difficult.
Oh, boo-hoo.
You might be surprised
Maybe you should quit.
to hear that. The crazier reality is, the easier it is to make fun of, right? Actually, it's the opposite. Satire exaggerates the truth to make a point. But when reality is this absurd and extreme views and behavior are commonplace, how do you go a step beyond it?
Maybe you should just stop then. Maybe you should just quit, because you're obviously not very good at it.
Almost anything we publish now ends up being believable. And much of it ends up actually coming true, as you've just seen. This is exactly what Chesterton was talking about.
Holy shit. I just cannot. It's a real hot take, man. It's a real hot take. I cannot get over the fact that they're citing Chesterton.
It's one of the ways the left is killing satire, by turning reality into a parody of itself. There's another, more intentional and insidious way the left is killing satire, and that's through censorship.
Oh.
We published an article a couple of years ago with this over-the-top headline. CNN purchases industrial-sized washing machine to spin news before publication.
That's almost clever. That's almost clever.
Believe it or not, Snopes fact-checked this story. I mean, come on, a washing machine to spin the news? That's an obvious joke. But Snopes fact-checked it and rated it false.
Who cares? Wait. Hang on. Killing satire, and they were supposed to be saying that this is about fucking through censorship. Okay?
As if we'd written a serious story. It used to be that jokes were either funny or not. They made you laugh, or they didn't.
But you were just trying to talk about censorship, and you're saying that you were censored by Snopes saying that you're what the fuck?
But now in the fact-checking age, we're giving them a truth rating. Jokes are no longer funny. They're false. and false information is dangerous.
What the fuck?
In response to the Snopes fact check, Facebook warned us that we'd be demonetized and deplatformed if we continued publishing fake news.
Take it up with Facebook. You're not going to find many people that are going to cape for goddamn Facebook these days.
It should go without saying that there's a big...
They had to rate it false because some dumbasses thought it was true. See, that's the fucking thing. That's the thing that I always find so fascinating is like when you have the Babylon Bee, I have seen people take what they said serious because we do actually have we have a really big problem in culture these days. And one of that problem is that we seem to celebrate anti-intellectualism. We really do. And, like, it's fine if somebody's dumb. Who gives a shit? Be dumb. Have fun. Like, it's fine. And intelligence has so many different layers to it and possibilities to it. Like, I might understand some higher academic concepts, but I might be lost on, like, the finer inner workings of a combustion engine, whereas somebody who's the opposite, I wouldn't consider them stupid. But it also comes down to, like, how immersed in culture you are, how terminally fucking online you are. And some of these people who live, eat, breathe, and shit constant fucking, like, panic porn and politics and right-wing dickbaggery can absolutely believe shit that comes out of the Babylon Bee. Because it's not clever satire. It's not. If it is so close to fucking reality, it's pretty easy for people like, yeah, okay, maybe. And the thing is, and it's exactly like what a couple of people are saying in the fucking chat, is the people who would think that CNN bought a giant dishwasher to wash a machine would be the viewers of the Babylon Bee. And probably one of the reasons why they believe it is because their IQ is perpetually lowering because they read the Babylon Bee.
Big difference between fake news, which is meant to deceive, and satire, which is meant to entertain and inform through mockery, humor, and irony. But the left benefits by blurring this distinction. If they can successfully lump us in with fake news, then they can shut us down.
This is just copium. They're pissed because they're bad at their jobs and people can't tell that they're satire. And they can't tell that it's satire because it's not funny.
It's that simple. These fact checks, which often smear us by suggesting we're purposefully misleading people, are nothing more than a creative, conniving way of justifying censorship.
Oh, man. Well, you know, if you're an adherent of G.K. Chesterton, I wonder who you would blame for this grand conspiracy to... shit.
But why would anyone want to censor satire?
Is it bad that I've never heard of the Babylon Bee until today? The Babylon Bee is a small group of unfunny jackasses who desperately want to be the right-wing Onion, and they're fucking awful at it.
Why is Facebook paying USA Today to write lengthy refutations of our jokes? Yes, they actually do that. Because humor is ultimately a vehicle for truth delivery, and the truth can be offensive. Think about all the things you're not allowed to say anymore, not because they're false, but because they make people uncomfortable.
You can still say them. And how is that any different from before? What the fuck? How is... I don't understand. This is something that they have to do. They fill your head with this idea that things are different now than they used to be. And they're not. It's just that culture changes. There has been plenty of things that for decades and decades and decades you can't say, or people get mad and people react badly. Legally, you can still say it. But I mean, the words and the topics change throughout history. It changes as culture changes. That's no different. I mean, for fuck's sake, dude. Like there are probably still. Well, actually, I know for a fact that there are countries right now. If you criticize the government, you can get thrown in jail. Criticizing the monarchy back in the day, you know, you could get in some serious shit for that. Oh, cancel culture. Oh no, censorship. Blah 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 blah. But in America, you can say any of those things. You can say it. Say it. Just say it. You can say the N-word with the hard R. You can say it. Just say it. If you want to say it, say it. It's just you have to deal with the repercussions of your actions. There are consequences. But you can say it.
Satire cuts right through the pretense and political correctness to expose uncomfortable truths, and it does so more ruthlessly and effectively than anything else. C.S. Lewis said, "Good philosophy must exist if for no other reason because bad philosophy needs to be answered." Satire is necessary
That's
for
fair.
the same reason. Satire ridicules bad ideas. And now, more than ever, bad ideas need to be exposed for what they are before they gain an even bigger foothold on our minds and hearts.
You know what exposes bad satire? Oh no. Looks like I might be buffering. Oh no. Oh well. We're going to keep going.
Especially on the minds and hearts of young people. And while good philosophy and rational argumentation are indispensable, it's often humor that's most effective. To quote our friend G.K. Chesterton once more,
Oh no, to quote our good friend G.K. Chesterton again. Oh man.
humor can get in under the door, while seriousness is still fumbling at the handle.
And make sure you check your pantry. There might be some spooky lurking Jews. All right, anyway.
I'm Seth Dillon, CEO of the Babylon Bee for Prager University.
That was garbage, dude. That was really terrible. That was super terrible. And it's so weird because they title this Elon Musk Wokeness Wants to Make Comedy Illegal. And none of it really had anything to do with Elon Musk. They're just like they're managing to like try and milk as much as they can out of that interview they had with him months ago, so that they can like somehow boost their image. Because honestly, and this is the fucking straight up truth, dude. The fact is that without these types of gimmicks, the Babylon Bee will not grow and be this monolith of awesome satire on its own merits because it's shit. It's unfunny, unoriginal, uninspired, droll, bottom of the fucking IQ barrel garbage. It's shit. I have never once laughed at one fucking thing the Babylon Bee has ever put out. Ever. Even back when I was more of a shithead than I am now. Like, it's not funny. It's crap. It's just crap. Like, we as a society lose out because the Babylon Bee exists. For every half a second where we have to scroll past a Babylon Bee tweet on Twitter because some random dude that we follow liked them, that precious half a second, we don't get back. We only have so much time on the planet. And every single time this jackwhistle and his shit fucking unfunny garbage company wastes any of that time is a human rights violation. But because I am an American and I am a patriot, I have to say I support their right to exist and be as unfunny as they fucking want. Ugh.